Hello and welcome back, everyone. This is Caslin and Always Acting Up. This is a podcast where I share all of my personal stories and journeys as an actress in the entertainment industry. This episode, I want to talk about what happens to your audition after you submit it via Actors Access and how I learned this particular information. But first, I want to give a shout out to all of you guys who follow every single other episode every other week. You know what I'm saying? On the YouTube, podcasts, everywhere. It's greatly appreciated. And it motivates me every single week to keep going. But before we do that, I have to give a special shout out to You Know Who, which is my producer, Hisani Johnson. Okay, so I'm going to get right into it. As per usual, in my podcast, I talk a lot about these really weird, interesting situations. And sometimes I'm like, does this stuff only happen to me? Or is this just one of those like weird industry things that like it just happens? And I do want to state before I get going, nobody ever said this is going to be easy. No one ever said there was like a 1, 2, 3 steps how to do it. I know that. We know that now. And so this is kind of another one of those stories. You're like, wait, what again? Like, this can't possibly keep happening. And so that got me thinking, like, is there more going on that I don't know? Or do I just keep making the same mistakes? And it turns out that there actually is more going on than what I know. And I'm going to tell you how I got that and what is the situation that is going on. So this particular situation happened about 2 weeks after I had dropped my previous agents, and you can learn all about that in episode 19 of Here's Why I Dropped My Agency. So I see this breakdown from one of my other agents in like the regional market, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is perfect. Like I can't wait to submit, and I'm ready to get auditioning again because, you know, you can't just be all grumpy and sad forever. You have to keep going. That's the business. That's the industry. That's life. You gotta keep going. And so luckily I get an audition request and super excited. They give me my sides, and it turns out that this is for the lead role of a feature film that's going to be shooting down in Florida. And because it is a lead, it is like 15 pages long, 3 scenes each. So each scene is about 3 to 5 minutes. And I was like, you know, I've had auditions like this before, and for the lead role, you should be able to handle a lot of dialogue. So I was thinking like, okay, great, no problem. Like I'll get into this. I've done it before. And like what was crazy is like I've had auditions like this before, and it was just like your line, my line, your line, my line. However, this one was like chunk, your line, chunk, your line, my line, chunk. Like it was like really, really heavy. So this audition is an East Coast audition, and it was going to be due on Saturday. I get this audition around Tuesday, and I was like, you know what? I really don't have like that much going on this week. Thank goodness. So I'm going to have like a lot of extra time to really make sure I have this audition down. It's like the cutest role ever. I'm so excited about it. And I've decided like, let's get this done on Friday, because we hear over and over and over how important it is to have your auditions done early and on time. And the earlier you get it in, the quicker that casting will get to it. And so I made sure to be really on top of my game. And I want to also note specifically on my Cmail, it noted 3 times. Did you get that? 3 times it like really reiterated, don't wait until the deadline to submit. Videos should be submitted ASAP to be considered. Please don't wait until the deadline. These are like exactly what it says. And so lucky for me, you know, like I'm like super type A. I want to get my stuff done and drill it and make sure that I'm really, really comfortable. I get my friend who is not an actress, but she was willing to donate her time to read with me. And this was on Friday around like 10, 11 a.m. my time, which is Pacific time. She's already on the East Coast, so thank you so much for joining, for helping me and joining me on this audition process. And she's not an actress. She just likes reading, and she does a really great job. What I should have done, actually, is I should have gone on WeAudition. And I didn't know it at the time, but I know now WeAudition is really, really great if you're looking for help with a reader or you need to run some rehearsals, there are tons and tons of other actors who are willing to donate their time, or if you want, there's like a small fee you could pay. And they understand the process of auditioning. They know how to break the scenes down. So it's a really, really great website to connect with people of different actors around the whole world. And lucky for us, lucky for everyone, lucky for me now I have a specific code. So if you did ever need a reader, make sure to head over to WeAudition.com and type in my code, which is actingup25, and you'll get 25% off your subscription. So that's what I wish I would have known beforehand. So I get this audition done and it takes about an hour. Because like I said, like each scene is like 3 to 5 minutes, and then there's like a rehearsal so I can actually like run through it with somebody as opposed to running it with my phone, which is what I had been doing like the whole week before. And I did a take, and then I did like another one just to make sure I felt really comfortable. And then I think the difficult process is sometimes getting the projects off your phone and onto your computer. I feel like I always have problems with that. But I did that, edited it together, did my slate. And so in total, there's 4 different videos totaling a little over 15 minutes. So like it's a lot of stuff. And it ended up taking me, forever because it's just a long audition. That's just what it is. And I turned in my final audition 4 p.m. PST, which is my time, which of course is 7 p.m. on the East Coast. And it's a Friday night at this time. And so I make sure to go ahead and write an email to my reps. And I was like, hey, just so you know, I turned in my audition. Thank you so much. And I figured like, okay, I get it. It's Friday night. Like, even though we're in quarantine, some people don't participate, but maybe like they're out, happy hour, like weekend starting. It's been a long week. They'll probably either turn it in later that night or the following morning, which would be Saturday morning, the day of the deadline for this audition. So I go to bed, I wake up, and then I realize, I never got an email confirmation or a Cmail from Actors Access letting me know that my agent has submitted this audition. I'm like, okay, well, there goes submitting my audition in early, but whatever. And so I emailed them again, and I have an email tracker on my phone, so I know when people open up my emails. I probably shouldn't have told you guys that, but I know when the emails have been read and when they have not been read. Then I realize, okay, they're not reading my emails. They're not opening up my emails. Is there technical problems? Like, what's going on? Then I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can send this message to them via Cmail. So you can actually, on your Actors account, I never say this correctly. Actors Access account. That is so hard. I don't know why it's so hard for me. On your Actors Access account, when you get a Cmail, you can actually email and message your reps back that way. So I tried that. Then I was like, okay, I'm just not getting a response. I sent an email over to Actors Access on their email asking maybe my audition was sent through and I didn't get the correct information, or what's going on. Maybe they can submit it for me. I call my agent's emergency number and I was like, oh my gosh, time is slipping away. At this point, it's 1, 2 o'clock, Eastern time, audition's done in 2 hours. You're not responding. I'm not even getting a confirmation. If I had at least gotten a thumbs up or a like or some type of yes, we received your audition, then, I wouldn't have gone through all this. And so it's now 3 o'clock on the East Coast. My audition is due at 4 p.m. And I'm great. I literally submitted this audition 20 hours ago. And it's 15 pages. I think I said 14 earlier, but it's 15 pages. And I worked really hard on it. I got my friend to read, and I haven't heard a thing. The last thing I need is for this audition to be floating into the internet world with nobody to see it. I couldn't. So I was like, you know what? Last resort. I didn't know what else to do. So I find the casting director's email and I send her an email, which then, of course, I get an automated response back saying that her inbox is full. Great. So now what do I do? So I resorted to social media. I know you're thinking oh God, social media, bad. No. what I did is it was nothing was her personal stuff. It was her professional casting Facebook page where sometimes when you go on Facebook, there's like an automatic like message, hey, how would you like to contact? What would you want to talk about? One of those things. So I sent her this whole explanation in her professional Facebook page messenger. And I was like, hey, I'm getting crickets from my reps. I was requested to audition from you. I don't know what to do. Like, I worked really hard, and I tried to keep it like short and sweet without throwing anybody else under the bus, because I did not do that. But I also wanted to explain the situation because, I worked really hard on this and it was a long audition. And so I get this response from her, and it was like, what'd she say? She's like, I can't look right now, with an exclamation mark. And I was like, whoa, like, oh my gosh, like, I feel like I just pissed her off, because I wasn't asking her to like respond right now. I wasn't asking her to like go look right now. I just wanted to know if there was another way to submit my audition. Also seeing how when I sent her an email, her email inbox was full. So I was like, great. Like, not only did I not get my audition sent in, now I pissed off the casting director, which is probably true. So finally, listen to this. At 3:47 p.m. Eastern time, that's 13 minutes before the deadline, I finally get an email from my agent saying, hey, we can't submit this because you didn't label your files properly. 13 minutes before, and you're just now telling me this? Because I'm pretty sure we had 20 hours to go over to make sure like I didn't make any mistakes. And I really, really do a good job. And I do my best to make sure I read everything correctly. And I thought that I did, but yes, I made a mistake, I admit. So by this time, like I'm like communicating with my agents at the grocery store, because I figured like, oh, I had all morning, like, I guess it's just going to be a loss. I don't know what to do. And they're asking me, they're like, well, you didn't label your files correctly. Like, we need this information. Like, you should have done this properly in the first place. Like, what? Anyways. And so I'm communicating with them, and I have 13 minutes to give this information to them for them to submit it by 4 p.m. Like, what? Okay. And so then I finally get an email around about 38 minutes later from Actors Access saying that my audition has finally been sent in. 38 minutes past the deadline. So that kind of like brought me to some questions like, wait a second. Like, what happens when you turn in your audition late? Does it go into the trash? Did they read it? Like, what's going on? So the whole rest of the weekend, I was kind of left in this position of like, great, like, I just frustrated, and I was frustrated that I was with another agency that did this again. And I'm not saying like I'm everyone's priority. I'm not saying that, but I am saying for 15 pages and spending, days during the week, and sometimes people hire other readers, it would be really great to know that your audition has at least been received. I'm not saying booked. That would be great. But I'm not saying callback. I'm just saying I just want to know that you got it. Luckily, I get an email from Actors Access on Monday. Actors Access. There you go again. I'm really struggling to say this word. Actors Access is closed on the weekend. They always have really good communications, except for the weekend. So I finally get that email from them, and they did let me know that yes, my audition was turned in. I was like, okay, well, that's great. At least she got it. Did she watch it because she's probably pissed off at me now? I don't know. That's a whole other question, I suppose. And then I thought, like, I kind of got your attention, Actors Access, and you're emailing me back and forth. Let me go ahead and ask all these other questions that I have, because I need some clarification for this time, for next time, for last time. And if you guys were wondering, now I have some answers for you. So I asked them, and I was curious. I was like, when I send my audition in to Actors Access and my agents have to approve it, do they get it right away? Or is there some type of delay? How do they know that they get it? And the answer is that when you send your audition in, they get a Cmail. And so they get their notification that you have sent it in. And there is no delay. It's instantaneous. So I was like, okay, So when I submitted my audition on Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time, they got an email letting them know that I sent in my audition. So then I was thinking, okay, so, they're doing something, they're busy. And then I was thinking like, okay, well, what happens when your agents finally turn in your audition to casting? Is there a delay again? Or is there, anything that additional that needs to be done? The answer is no. It is also instantaneous. So then I was like, okay, when my agents finally turned in my audition and it's past the deadline, does casting still get it? The answer is no. EcoCast closes at the time of the deadline, and your agents have to reach out separately to get a hold of casting to see if there was another way or other options to get your audition. They did say, however, and I think this is really important, and I think this is potentially, maybe what happened. Your reps do have the ability to set their own deadline ahead of castings. So that way, say for example, the casting director's deadline is 8 o'clock. Your agents are like, that's great, but I'm gonna have my client submit by 4 o'clock. That way they can go over your audition. If you wanna give notes, make sure that your files are labeled correctly. They do have the ability to do that. And from what I've heard from a lot of agents and casting directors, some of you guys out there, I don't know what you're doing, but some of you guys just ghost. Like, you don't turn in your stuff on time, people need to chase you, and that's why this is done. So what I'm trying to say is, whenever you're going on your Havasu trips or to Big Bear, take your self-tape setups so that your agents don't have to chase you. You can still get your auditions done. I think with this whole year of COVID and self-tapes galore, we should all have a general idea of how to do your self-tapes. Do we really know the answer of whether or not my agents sent in my auditions on time? Did they create their own deadline beforehand? I don't know, and I guess we will never know, because I was so frustrated about this weekend, and I was like, you know what? I could just drop them. I could just do this, or I could just like sulk to myself. So I was like, let me send them an email, and I was like, let me email them and ask them, like, maybe we can get on the same page. Maybe there was some type of communication. Maybe there was like a better way I could communicate with them. However, like, I literally did every single means of communication to get a hold of them, and I got nothing. So the fact that they never responded to my email kind of says a lot, doesn't it? And so with this being said, we're here at my moment of positivity. So for me, in the moment of positivity, I would just like to express how important it is to me to have good communication. Communication is everything. All of my friends know this, how much I value communication. I can't handle being ghosted. I need an answer. I need responses. I need a thumbs up. I need a like. I need a double tap. I need some type of like acknowledgement that you receive my message. Even if it's like a one word, like yes or no, that is totally acceptable. What's not acceptable is to just get nothing. Because then I'm sitting here like, oh my God, there's technical problems. Like, what's going on? They never got it. Or, oh my God, they're so busy. Like, maybe they saw it and they forgot about it. Or they just don't care. Because that's where I'm left to believe, because I never got any type of response. And with that being said, I would like to say that Henry Ford, the very famous special Henry Ford, did say, coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is success. Success. Hallelujah, you guys. We've talked about this a bajillion times. Nothing, well, some things. Not a lot can be done on your own. You have to work together, and you have to find a team that has good communication. So what I learned from all of this, I think it's really important, especially for me, maybe it doesn't bother some of you guys, I need communication, and that's what I need from my next representation, my next agency, my next manager. I need good communication. I need just acknowledgement. If I have to write an email and I have to ask questions, so all you have to do is write yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, that's what I will do. I'll make it a super easy, super simple, but I need communication, and that's the type of people I need to work with. And I think that's probably another great lesson that I learned, that I can't just settle for anybody. Like, I need good communication, and I think you do too. My other theory is that maybe I am not on their priority list, and I guess I have to work harder so that they actually care. Well, anyways, thank you guys for listening. I hope you learned some lessons, and I'm going to go ahead and drop my code for WeAudition in the comments section below. What do you think about this? Like, has this happened to you? Do you have any additional questions for Actors Access? Because they are really, really great at communicating and during the weekday, and they will answer your questions. So maybe this was something that you knew, but I didn't know, and now we know what happens to your auditions once you send it off. All right, smash the subscribe button wherever it is, and y'all keep auditioning, keep staying positive. Have a great day. Hi. So I thought it was really important. I want to let you guys know that this agency actually did finally get back to me in February. So I originally asked for a meeting to be set up to discuss all of this in December. They said that they were just really, really busy in the beginning of the year. How it's a pandemic, I don't know. But I really respect the fact that they did get back to me. It's better late than never. And so some of the things that they said was no need to panic in this type of situation, that they do, as bookers, want us to work, obviously, because if I don't make money, you don't make money. So they want us to work. And I believe that. They also said that this particular casting director, they work with her often, and it's very unlikely that if she were to have received an audition past the deadline, that they were going to trash it. And I kind of think that's true for most casting directors and anyone who receives a tape. Like, you're really looking for that part, so the likelihood of them throwing it away or not trying to see it is very small. Also, I thought it was really important to mention, sorry, somebody's watching Falcon and Winter Soldier in the other room, but that in a lot of these workshops, a lot of castings directors, they say things to sort of nudge people to do what they want in like more of a suggestive way. It doesn't mean that they're actually going to like not look at your stuff. They're just saying like, not a threat, but like they're kind of trying to like nudge you to get you to do something. And lastly, it was interesting. She said, I mean, this was a really, really nice email. So I like genuinely appreciate everything. She said that email is their priority way of communication, which I was like, well, y'all didn't answer them. But, you know, they get busy, and whatever comes on their desk first in terms of jobs, that's who they submit and kind of prioritize first. And then I thought it was interesting. She goes, so actually for this project that you were auditioning for, the actual deadline was 2 days later. So I'm like, wait a second. So eventually, like, when I turned mine in a day early, that would have been 3, almost 4 days early, which I was just like, wow, well, that's stressful. So ultimately, I guess my audition was turned in, just not as early as I had planned. So I guess I panicked for nothing. However, I still believe, like, you know, a thumbs up or a smiley face or, hey, I got your email would have been appreciated. So I just thought you guys would be interested in knowing this information, and now you know. Yep, that's it. That's all I have to say about that. That's all, folks.